Well, good morning, Meadow. Listen, before we get into today's service, I want to say that at the end of today's online service, I have some extremely important things to share about opening up again, some things that we've been hearing, where we're at, the status. So hang in there. After today's service, we'll share with you a little bit more, all right? Hey, let's get on to today. And again, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Meadow Spring Church.
Hi, I'm Jacob.
Hi, I'm Mateo. I am Mateo.
And this is Lucas.
And this is Lucas.
Hi, I'm Gustavo.
And I'm Kim.
And we're the Segura family. Today, we are joining you and hundreds of other people and families settled down in our homes, worshiping and watching Meadow Spring Church. Here's what you're about to experience. First, our worship pastor, John Panucci, who will lead us in worship, and then our lead pastor, John Lager, will be sharing the second message in the series, Chasing Carrots. It's going to be an awesome service. Tonight, at 7 p.m., there will be a Sunday night meetup for anyone who wants to connect and hang out. Tonight's topic is, what will our first Sunday be like? You can ask questions and interact with them, but what makes our Sunday night Meadow meetup the best is chatting and talking and laughing with our friends. It really is a fun time. Watch your email or Facebook for the link to come. Wednesday night at 8 p.m. will be the time of worship led by our worship pastor, John Panucci. Worship is so key to our relationship with Jesus, and Pastor John guides us in growing a life of worship. You will be able to worship and sing along, and also hear inspirational thoughts about the songs. So after you put the kids to bed, join us.
In 2 weeks, on Saturday, June 6th, we are having a work day at the church to assemble and set up the new chairs for our new auditorium, assemble and set up the tables and chairs for our new lobby, and a few other things to get our church all ready to welcome everybody back. We will start at 9 a.m. and go until finished. Bring your muscles and power tools, and let us know in the comments if you can make it. Giving. We want to encourage you in your giving too. If you've never taken advantage of online giving or using your bank's bill pay feature, now is a great time to start. Personally, we use our bank's bill pay feature. It's a great way to stay faithful, even when we are unable to meet together. Maybe your only connection and experience with Meadow Spring is online. We are so glad you are a part of our online family. You are encouraged to make Meadow Spring a priority in your giving to help fund our growing ministry and taking the good news of God's grace to our church, community, and world. Just click the link attached to today's video where you can give easily and safely. Worship. John.
Thanks for joining us for these times of worship. This was John Panucci.
His mind. touching every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, turning lives around. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, mending every heart. I worship you. I worship you. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 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 Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. Never stop working. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. You are waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness. My God, that is who you are. 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 Hold me now in the hands that created the heavens. Find me now where the grace runs as deep as your skies. You pull me from the clay, let me on a rock. You call me by your name, made my heart whole again. Lifted up in my knees, know it's all for your glory.
I might stand
With more reason to sing than to fear. You pull me from the clay, set me on a rock. You call me by your name, made my heart whole again. Here I stand, high in surrender. I need you now. Hold my heart now and forever. My soul cries out. Once I was broken. You love my whole heart through. Sin has no hold on me, 'cause your grace holds me now. And that
Well, good morning, Meadow Spring. It's good to have you here with us, and I am so glad for this morning. We're going to have an awesome, I've got some awesome things to share with you this morning, but before we get into the message, there's two things I'd like to mention to you. Number one, this coming Tuesday night at 7 p.m., we're going to have a very special online interview with Pete Young, who's in our, the missionary that we support in Africa. Jody Hessen and was able to interview Pete, and we were able to get it on video. And so on this coming Tuesday night at 7 on Facebook, we're going to show that video so you can see what's happening with Pete with this whole COVID-19 thing. But that's this Tuesday at 7 p.m. The other thing is on Saturday, June 6th. That's Saturday, June 6th, starting at 9 a.m. We're going to have a work day at the church, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be assembling chairs and assembling tables and assembling counters and setting everything all up to get the church all ready to go. Even though we can't meet here yet, we're going to get it all set up and ready to go. But here's the deal. You need to sign up for this, okay? So either email me or message me or make a comment in the comment section that you're going to come, and we'll be in touch to make sure you understand. But that Saturday, June 6th, we're going to start at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to go until we finish, all right? But that is the work day. Saturday, June 6th, starting at 9 a.m. until we finish. Now, today is the second week in this series that we're calling Chasing Carrots, the Endless Pursuit for More. And last week we talked about fame. And if you weren't able to see it, I challenge you, I invite you to go into Facebook, into YouTube, and to find that video and to watch it. Today might get a little hot. Today might get a little uncomfortable for you. It might be a little offensive to some of you because we're going to be talking about something that affects most of you, if not all of you. It affects me for sure, but I'm sure it affects most of you, if not all of you, and that is we're going to talk about chasing money. And here's a couple questions I have for you. How many of you would honestly say that you wouldn't mind being rich? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up in the comments if you wouldn't mind being rich. Second question, how many of you would say that you know someone who is rich? Give me a thumbs up. If you know someone who is rich, give me a thumbs up. Third question, how many of you would say that you are really, really rich? Now, don't put a thumbs up, don't raise your hand or anything, but how many of you would say that you are really, really rich? Well, without actually seeing how many thumbs did not appear or how many hands did not go up, I know that many of you would love to be rich. And so, like many people in the world, you continue to pursue more money. You loved that stimulus check you got in the mail. You hate paying into taxes because it takes away your money. You never say no to a pay raise in your work. It's the whole idea of if I just have a little bit more, I'll be happier. If I just have a little bit more, I'll be richer. Well, Gallup did a poll, and he polled and surveyed a whole bunch of people and asked them the question, what does it mean to be rich? When do you feel rich? At what point have you crossed the line to say, I have arrived, I am now rich? Well, what's interesting is he talked to those who made $30,000 a year. And those who made $30,000 a year generally said the average was if I made $74,000 a year, then I would feel rich. Now, some of you make $74,000 a year or more, and you would say, I don't feel rich. That's not rich to me. And so he polled those who make $50,000 a year. And those who make $50,000 a year, what does it mean or what does it take to make you feel rich? And they said $100,000. If I could make $100,000, then I would feel rich. Now, some of you make $100,000. And you would say, I don't feel very rich. And so he also pulled those who were in the upper income levels, those who were in the upper 6-figure, even 7-figure incomes per year, and he asked them, what does it take to make you feel rich? And average on the bottom line, it was all about, if I had $5 million in assets, I would feel rich. You see, rich is not a definitive point. It is not the same for everyone. In fact, rich is a moving line. I mean, I remember when I was making $10,000 a year when I was in college, mowing lawns and plowing snow in the wintertime. And I thought, when I get a full-time job and I make twice this much, I'm going to be rich. Well, then I got a job making $22,000 a year. And guess what? The line moved, and I didn't feel like I was rich. But if I had a little bit more, I thought, like $30,000 a year, then at that point I would feel rich. But then when I reached that, the line moved again. Rich was not $30,000 a year. Rich was not $50,000 a year. And my point is, rich is not a definitive line. It's a moving line for you, and it's a moving line for me. So my question to you is, how much do you need to be happy, to be satisfied in life? You know, most people would say, I'm not quite sure, but what I do know is if I had just a little bit more, chasing carrots, the endless pursuit for more. Notice what Jesus says in Luke 12:15. He says, watch out. Be on your guard against all kinds of greed. A man's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions. He's basically saying, watch out. Be wary. This is dangerous. Be on your guard. The quality of your life does not consist in the abundance of your possessions. It's a trap. It's a deadly trap. This trap of to think, if I just had a little bit more, I just need one more thing. I just need one more dollar. He says, be on your guard. Be very careful, because everything in culture is shouting at you, you need this, you need that, you need more, you need to make more. And again and again and again, the dominant message that you and I hear in our culture is that the thing that you don't have is the thing that you need. What you don't have, that's what you need. You need more. You need this. You need that. And that's why Jesus says, watch out. Be on your guard against all kinds of greed. It will trap you, and you won't even know it. Your life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions. Your life is not about how much wealth you have. Your life is not about how much stuff you have in your house. There's far much more. In fact, let me be very bold in saying this. The more you have, the more you will want more. Did you get that? The more you have, the more you will want more. In fact, the more you have, the more possessive you get of that which you do have. Jesus told us a very powerful illustration in Luke chapter 12. An illustration of a farmer who went out, and one year he had a bumper crop. He had a harvest that was just awesome. And he looked at his harvest, and he says, I don't have enough room for all this. What am I going to do with all of this wealth? And it dawned on him, you know, I can tear down my storage barns, build bigger barns, store all my wealth there, and then I will be able to retire and live life just easy free the rest of my life. Look at what Jesus, or what God says in Luke 12:20 to this man. He says, you fool. This very night your life will be demanded from you. Then who will get what you have prepared for yourself? This is how it will be with anyone who stores up things for himself, but, notice, but is not rich toward God. But is not rich toward God. You know what's interesting about this? What I find interesting, God wasn't mad at this man for being wealthy. He was angry because he wasn't rich toward God. He was only rich in the things of the world, the things that were temporary, the things that didn't last. He wasn't rich, he wasn't wealthy in the things that mattered, the things that lasted. Now there's good news. There's good news in your life. The good news is you are rich. Yep, I said that. You are rich. You are rich, but you don't feel rich, right? And now I know that right now there are several people, there are a lot of people, maybe even you, who are struggling financially, who are in situations in life where finances is a real extreme, you're facing extreme financial situations. You might have lost your job, you might have been furloughed, you might have had your income cut, you might have had your income removed, you've got medical bills, you've got rent, you've got mortgage, you've got a broken down car, you've got a divorce that you're dealing with, or maybe a single parent that's just trying to keep his or her head above the water. And I don't want to diminish that reality. I don't want to diminish the reality of your world. But the overall majority of people that I'm talking to right now are actually doing okay. Okay. You have a roof over your head. You have food in your fridge. You have clothes on your back, and you have shoes on your feet. You have furniture to sit on. You have toilet paper. You are rich. And I am rich. And if I am rich, then I want to be good at being rich. I want to be rich in the way that honors God. I want to be rich toward God. And you need to look in the mirror and you need to say, I am rich. That's right. Look in the mirror and say, I am rich. Now, if for a moment you feel a little bit uncomfortable saying that, I want you to ask yourself, why? Why do you feel uncomfortable? You know, if you're like me, it's because you know you're not being as good as you could be with your wealth. You know you could do better at being rich toward God, rich in a way that honors God. I mean, check this out. Ecclesiastes 5:19 says, moreover, when God gives any man wealth and possessions and enables him to enjoy them, to accept his lot and be happy in his work, this is a gift of God. Now look at this verse. Who is it that's giving the wealth? Well, God gives any man wealth and possessions. And you might say, well, wait a minute, I'm a self-made man. No, you're not. No, you're not. Actually, God made you first. God gave you talents. God gave you gifts. God gave you opportunities. God is the one who's behind it. And He gives you the ability to enjoy it, to up your life satisfaction because of it, to be happy. It's all a gift of God. Now, just a side note here, your level of happiness with your wealth is directly affected by how you honor God with your wealth. Your level of fulfillment and sense of having enough is directly connected to how you honor God. In fact, I'll even say this. The amount of blessing in your life, your level of blessing is directly connected to how you honor God with your riches. A verse that we've referred to here in the past. Look at this, Malachi 3:10 says, bring your full tithe to the temple treasury, so there will be ample provisions in my temple. Test me in this and see if I don't. Now notice this, where do the blessings come from? Test me in this and see if I don't open up heaven itself to you and pour out blessings beyond your wildest dreams.
Now, I might get a little passionate here, if I'm not passionate already about this. I believe we are so blinded to how much we are blessed. We have these blinders on, and we don't see the blessings that we have. We only see what we don't have. And it's crippling us in our lives. And it's crippling the advancement and work of God. And the very fact that we get put off when we talk about honoring God with our wealth in this context is evidence of the blinders that we are wearing. You see, it breaks God's heart, our attitude. He gives us and He blesses us with so much, but yet we want more. He gives us and blesses us with so much, and we only see what we don't have. We listen to our culture more than we listen to God. You see, when we listen to God, God's voice leads to blessing. Culture's voice leads to greed. You know, God says, use your riches to help others and get more people into heaven. Chase after me, honor me, be rich toward me. Culture says, that's ridiculous. Yeah, go ahead and give God a few bucks here and there. But look at all you don't have. That's what you need to chase after. The newer phone, the bigger TV, that brand new purse, those new shoes, those new clothes, that bigger house, that faster car, that faster computer, that new cell phone, the furniture, the countertops, the flooring, the speakers, the backpack, and it goes on and on and on. Because what you don't have, culture says, is what you need. That's why Jesus said, again in Luke 12:15, watch out. Be on your guard against all kinds of greed. A man's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions. Watch out. Be on your guard. Here's what I know about most of you. We know that in our heads. What I've said probably has not been new news to a lot of you. The problem is our lifestyle does not reflect that truth. And if you're really, really honest with yourself, you might say, yeah, you're right. I'm spending more than I make, or I'm spending on things above and beyond what I really need. Because I've bought into the lie that more stuff out there really matters. I've bought into the lie that what I don't have is what I need. If I just get that, I will finally be happy. And the very way that most of us live in this culture today says that what we believe is more and more and more will make us happy. Now listen, don't miss this. Whenever we believe that the lie that more money, more things, more stuff is what we need to be blessed and be happy, we are under the curse of money. Whenever we believe that our problems can be solved by more money, by more stuff, we are under the curse of money. I mean, here's my penetrating question at this point. Why do you want more? Why? Well, if you were like most people, you would say, well, so I can go on vacation, or so I can get that new thing, or so I can get a newer house, or a newer car, or so I can pay off the debt from spending more than what I make, so I can be more comfortable and not be so stressed out. My friend, the lack of comfort and the presence of stress is not because of a lack of money. The lack of comfort, the presence of stress is because of how we use and view money. More money will not save your marriage. More money will not build character into your kids. More money will not free you from guilt. More money will not flood your life with real peace. We don't need more money. We don't need more of what's temporary. What we need more is more of what is eternal. We don't need more money. We need more of Jesus. I don't want to be under the power of something that's temporal, something that's cultural. I want to be under the power of the living blessings of God. I want to be living a life that truly honors God. Look at what Paul says to Timothy in 1 Timothy 6:17. Command those who are rich in this present world not to be arrogant, nor to put their hope in wealth, which is so uncertain, but to put their hope in God, who richly provides us with everything for our enjoyment. God gives and God blesses us with riches to enjoy. He loves to bless His children. He's a good God. And when you are faithful with a little, God gives you more. It's okay to have a nice car. Enjoy it. It's a blessing of God. It's okay to have a nice house. Enjoy it. It's a blessing of God. It's okay to wear nice clothes. Enjoy them. They're a blessing of God. It's okay to save for retirement. Enjoy it. It's a blessing of God. God has blessed you, and you have every right to enjoy it. And you have every right to spend it on your family, to have a nice place, to have a nice car, to live a great life, because God enables you with things, with wealth, to enjoy life. But it's not all for you. He goes on to say in verses 18 and 19, command them, that's you and I, command them to do good, to be rich in good deeds, and to be generous and willing to share. In this way, they will lay up treasure for themselves as a firm foundation for the coming age, so that they may take hold of life that is truly life. You will take hold of life that is truly life. Be rich in good deeds. Be generous and willing to share of your wealth. Be generous and willing to share of the stuff that's in your life, so that you can enjoy the depth of the blessings and the goodness and the character and the nature of God. Now, I don't know about you, but I want this kind of a life. I want to live this out. I want to lower my expenses so I can honor God more and more with my wealth and blessings. I want to get out of debt so that I can honor God more with my wealth and blessings. I want to trust God more with my bank account. I want to put into my life what He wants in my life. I want to be thankful for what I have, not focus on what I don't have. I don't want to get caught in the cultural trap of what I don't have is what I need. I want to give more and more.
Well, that's what I want for my life. What about you? Are you willing to accept the challenge to be rich toward God? I mean, come on, Meadow, we can do this. Let's do something different. Let's do something countercultural. Let's do something. Let's be rich in good deeds. Let's be rich toward God. Let's use our wealth. Let's use our possessions to help people, to help more people get into heaven. We can do this not only as a church, but we can do this as individuals. Let's be people who are countercultural in this area. I mean, maybe you're going to go mow your neighbor's yard. Maybe you're going to go help your friend or a neighbor pay their monthly rent or their mortgage just because they're in financial difficulties. Maybe you're going to sign up and serve in Meadow Kids or the tech team or First Impressions at Meadow Spring. Maybe you're going to start tithing a full 10%. Maybe you're already tithing 10%. And the challenge to you is to go above and beyond that, be an extravagant giver. But we can do this. And so my challenge to you is to be rich toward God, to be rich in good deeds. Let's do this. Let's be countercultural, and let's be a refreshing difference to this world, all right? Now, let me be real candid with you about some things happening. And I'm sure I sound echoey in here because I'm actually coming to you from our brand new auditorium, which right now is just complete concrete floor. There's no carpet in here. The stage has got the decking on it, but there's no carpet. It's just kind of a hard, echoey room, so bear with me. But I'm sure you may have heard the news that President Trump has deemed churches essential and has opened them up completely, from our understanding. But the key is our local state government. What does our local state government say? Because my understanding is they've got the final authority. And there's a lot of extreme passion on this, both on your part, on the part of pastors. There's pastors who are on both sides of the issue. Those that say we need to open up and we need to open up now, and those that say no, we need to wait for actually several months before we open up. And so really, regardless of what happens, there's going to be somebody who's not going to be happy, those who are going to be extremely happy, and those that are not going to be happy. But here's what we're doing here at Meadow Spring. We've got a meeting this coming week where we're going to make some final decisions of what the next several weeks look like for us. First of all, even if we could open up, we wouldn't have a place to meet. Our current facility is just literally torn apart in the final stages of construction, so it just wouldn't work. Meeting outside doesn't work for us just because our model and the way we do ministry and the technology that would be needed and the weather and the possible weather setup, things like that, just doesn't make meeting outside possible. The other thing we got to take into consideration is even if the governor does open up churches, what are some of the requirements? What are some of the stipulations? So there's many pieces that are going to go together as far as how do we open this up. But we're going to have a meeting. Our leadership has a meeting this coming week, and we're going to be talking about this. What do the next several weeks happen? So let me tell you this. Maybe you're looking for more concrete answers, which I don't have for you right now. But we're going to be asking a lot of questions this week and getting a lot of answers. And next weekend, we hope to have very firm answers as far as what these next several weeks, we hope to have an answer as far as when we're going to be opening, how we're going to be opening, how it's all going to look, how it's all going to play out. So that's what I want. That's all I've got to say, and I wish I had more to say, but so pray for the leadership this week, because this is not an easy decision. I am desperate. Believe me, I am desperate to start coming together, but we need to do it the right way, and we need to do it safely, and we need to do it so that we protect you, we protect us, and we protect everybody involved. All right? Hey, have a good day. Share this with anybody. And again, let me get back to the message. Let's be countercultural in the way that we handle our wealth, in the way that we handle our possessions, and helping people, in being rich in good deeds and being rich toward God. And let's help more people get into heaven. We don't need more. We need more of Jesus. We don't need more stuff in our lives. All right? Be rich toward God. Be rich in good deeds. All right? Have a great day. We'll see you next week. Bye.